So recently, some of my fellow bros have been asking me if I've tried the sugar diet or if I plan on trying the sugar diet. Because they've been hearing some pretty fantastic success stories of guys who've been able to get down to 6% body fat and even maintain that level of leanness with this diet, which is not something that I would encourage myself. I think 6% body fat is more of a peak state that shouldn't be maintained. But if you're being true and honest with yourself and you feel that you are indeed thriving at that level of leanness, I mean, you know your body better than anyone else. So your body, your choice, all the power to you. But I would encourage you to keep your body fat percentage up at least just a little bit to 8% to get in a more athletic state there. And ideally, probably around 10%, 12% for a lot of people out there. But either way, I really don't see the sugar diet as being anything different than any other fad diet that's been out there, whether it's the recent carnivore diet fad, the paleo diet fad, intermittent fasting, which still seems to be going on. It's more of a nutrition lifestyle for a lot of people, but the Atkins diet, I mean, there's so many different fad diets that have come and gone over the years, and they all have a commonality of having raving fans, mainly because these people finally found something that allowed them to maintain a calorie deficit long enough to achieve their fat loss goals. There's really no magic fat burning properties of any of these fad diets. It's just an approach that allowed people to stick with their diet long enough to see it through to the end for them to achieve their fat loss success. And I think there's so many fantastic things about this. Number one is that you see that there's all these different fad diets on the complete opposite ends of the spectrum, like total extremes and everything in the middle that have worked for some people. So you see that any approach can work as long as you're able to maintain a calorie deficit long enough to achieve your fat loss goal. If there was one single diet approach that worked for everybody, I mean, all my coaching clients would be following the exact same diet, yet none of my coaching clients are eating exactly the same. No one's eating exactly as I am. What's working for them is they're simply improving upon and building upon their own natural eating tendencies. And I think that the real magic comes from the shared experience. Like, forget the hype and the marketing messages behind these fad diets. What is it about that diet approach that worked for you? Were you better able to control your appetite with this diet approach? Did you feel more satisfied throughout the day? Did it increase your energy levels? Did it decrease your cravings? What was it about this diet that actually allowed you to stick with it? So don't get caught up in all the hype and all the marketing stuff. Like, think to yourself, like, what was it? What is different about this fat loss approach compared to the other ones in the past? A lot of people are attracted to my coaching because they see that I pretty much eat like a normal human. I love to dine out. I enjoy alcohol. I enjoy processed foods, but I really enjoy whole, natural, nutrient rich foods. I basically have a pretty balanced approach with my nutrition. The key is that I do everything responsibly. I've learned to eat to that point of satisfaction. The reason this approach has worked for me, number one, is that I had a heightened sense of awareness as to, like, whenever I was overeating in the past, I just felt so gross, so uncomfortable. I'd have a crappy night's sleep because I'd be tossing and turning. I'd have acid reflux. My digestive system was always out of whack. I always felt sluggish because I wasn't getting a great sleep and I was always full all the time. So the key for me that worked was I just avoiding that kind of pain. Eating to satisfaction is brought more joy to the overall dining experience. So I have a heightened sense of awareness with that. I find that because I know I can have a drink, an alcoholic beverage whenever I want, I can stop at one drink. No, I can have some tomorrow if I want to have some tomorrow. If I'm having a few cookies today, I'm not going to eat the entire box because I know I can have a few cookies tomorrow if I want. So I feel like having this flexible approach to my diet doesn't give me this deprivation kind of mindset. It's more of an abundance mindset that I can have anything I want. I can enjoy all of my favorite foods responsibly, and doing so responsibly allows me to thrive, to feel my best. I'm avoiding that pain of the discomfort. So don't get caught up in these fad diets in the sense that there's something magical behind their approach in regards to fat burning, but think of it more along the lines of maybe this is an approach that may work for me because it helps me control my appetite better. It decreases my cravings. It helps me avoid the temptations a bit better. So what are the properties of that diet that may suit you best? And share your experiences. Like, I'm all for experimentation. I've experimented with different intermittent fasting approaches in the past, carb cycling, calorie cycling, whole variety of approaches in the past. I have no intention of doing the sugar diet or any other diet because I've been able to get lean and stay lean with this approach. Why change it? It's been years that I've continued to make small improvements to the way I eat right now. I'm not going to change anything just for the sake of experimenting. I'm thriving right now, so there's no reason for me to experiment, but I'd love to hear about your experiments. So please be sure to share what's worked for you down in the comment section below, because we're learning and growing together from these shared experiences. I would love to hear what diet approach has suited you best and what was it about that approach that worked best for you.